Welcome to the Aslead Institute podcast. My name is Daisy Mutai, the administrator of Aslead Institute, and today we have a guest in our studio, and I'm going to allow him to introduce himself.
Thank you, Daisy. My name is Peter Achero, born again. I thank God for the opportunity to be here today. Married, of course, with and blessed with 4 children. Nami ndi ule mse. Twende kazi.
Thank you so much, Peter Achero, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Completing the TOT.
Thank you.
Now you're a certified tutor.
Yes.
How does that make you feel?
Well, you know, every step is a blessing. Once you set targets and you achieve them, you're happy that you're able to do. Because in the beginning of the year, I decided I want to do something different, and this is which month is this?
August.
It's August, and I've done 2. I've finished Aslead as a student and as a TOT.
Great. It's good to have you on board.
Thank you.
And we are walking this journey. It has just begun. And today, I want us to look at module 2. Because if I remember correctly, it's one of the modules that stood out for you.
Oh, yes.
And it's on character. There's a quote by John Luther on our page 2 that says, "Good character is more to be praised than outstanding talent. Most talents are, to some extent, a gift. Good character, by contrast, is not given to us. We must build it piece by piece, by thought, choice, courage, and determination." What does this quote tell you?
I think the module itself, it talks about generally the marks of a servant leader. And when you talk about good character, that which builds or destroys a leader. So I think then it must be systematic. And I love what he says, it is built piece by piece.
Yes.
It is systematic. And you can be so talented, so gifted, but you miss out on character. So you're able to do all that you have to do, but you come down tumbling down because you just missed character. Who you are in the dark portrays itself in the light, you know? And I think that's what people don't know, that as you rise, the light is on you. And once the light is on you, you reveal who you are. Maybe sometimes because of being annoyed, it will reveal who you are, or when you're happy. We are told that excitement has 2 ways. When you are over excitement or under excited, it will portray a certain aspect of the person. So you can find somebody who is very happy and they say something they are not supposed to say. That is actually who they are. And sometimes they will tell you, it's a slip of the tongue. There's nothing like a slip of the tongue. It is who they are. Or somebody just steps on your toe. Then you discover you are the manager. You know? But that's who you are. So when we are talking about character, we're looking at this key thing, that as you are rising up the ladder, you must make sure that your life is in check, and not cosmetically, but this is the real. Say, this is who I am, and that's why we must build it piece by piece. And through this book, this module, we are able to really explore and build it. It's not a daily thing, overnight thing, but it's daily, piece by piece, thought by thought, and it must be a choice.
Thank you. That is deep, and it's very important, especially when we look at the way, not just our country, but even globally.
Yeah.
We look at people that ideally we would be upholding, but things have happened. How can a leader avoid such pitfalls?
I think, you know, leadership is interesting. There are people who go into leadership because of a lot of, either they want to earn more, they want to protect their interests. Interest might be a business, interest might be family, interest might be money or whatever. But I think we should enter into leadership with the mind of servanthood. And so, if you enter in as a servant, you'll not find yourself in a crisis. Because from the word go, you spell the word service to people. Unfortunately, we have leaders who pretend, because saying and doing are two different things.
Sure.
Actually, one of the things we learn is that you need to do, you should do what you say you will do, you know? So most leaders, because they don't have that concept of doing what they say they will do, they enter into leadership saying one thing, but when they sit on that seat after taking the oath of office, they forget. Now they decide, hey, Ivan, that was, if it was elections, that was a campaign mode. Now let's do the real thing. But once you enter into the office as a servant, you tell yourself, one, when I want to enter into that office, I will never give any promise that is out of range. I'll analyze what is on the ground, I'll analyze the situation, the real thing, and be able to tell people as per time. And that will avoid what we are seeing in the world. I will not go there to enrich myself, but to enrich the people. How do you enrich the people? You serve the people. You are the servant of the people. Now, it's easier said than done.
True.
And that's why when you go through the mark of the servant leader, there are things that come to us. For example, it talks about the heart, that leadership begins from the heart. That it can't begin outside. So therefore, you and I, if we tell ourselves we are leaders, we are lying to ourselves. It must be an internal drive that is making me say, hey, I'll become a leader. When I come to Aslead University, when I come to Aslead Hotel, Aslead buses, I'm serving in that institution. I don't come to make sure, hey, I will loot. It begins from what will I get? To what will my wife get? What will my child get? What blah 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 blah. But I'm saying I'm coming. There's a child in the slum. There's a child somewhere. There's a disadvantaged family. I want to lift this family. So I'm sitting on that seat knowing that this thing is within me. No one is pushing me to become a leader. No one is pushing me to become a servant. It's within me. And then it says, the book talks about the mind, because in the marks of the servant, it says now the mind of the head it starts from the heart and it goes to the mind. How I do the policies, because I want to avoid the chaos we are seeing. So therefore my mind should be alert. Know how kupanga, plan the thing, execute the thing, be as realistic, make smart moves, you know. And then of course there's the hands, then I implement my habit, you know, such things. So I think that's what we are lacking, and we'll be in this chaotic world with the same things, with the same leaders who are not servant, until we change our hearts.
You know, Mahatma Gandhi gave that quote of, be the change that you want to see. And I believe that change begins with you, it begins with me. How can we tie this somehow? Because we also have a module on stewardship. Because we are here, but we own nothing. Who we are, even by itself, we belong to God.
Yes.
How can we bring out the stewardship aspect in our character?
You know, stewardship is all about faithfulness. Once you know you own nothing, you are telling yourself, anything that I have belongs to somebody. So I will never claim anything. Let me tell you a story. One day, when I think I was in primary school, and we were playing. At that time, we were living in Eldoret. Very cold. Nowadays, it's not cold. It was very cold. And so I took a basin. Of course, there was water, and I put it in the sun to warm. because nobody could, my father, my parents could not allow you to waste electricity. In fact, you are a young person. Oga na maji baridi, kwani iko nini? And so we are playing, my water is there, the sun is shining, najua, nimejisort, you know. Then all of a sudden, my dad took water, because it was a veranda in the compound, and poured, because there was dirt. I was not mad with my father. I'm Zaiban. What is it? so, and my father just turned to me and told me, the water belongs to God. Hey, what are you saying? He did not even say that this water belongs to me. I'm the one paying.
Yeah.
He said that water belongs to God.
Wow.
And he told me, from today you must understand that everything here belongs to God. See, now that is stewardship.
Yes.
That's stewardship. He never claimed ownership. He's the one paying the bills. Mm-hmm. He saw that, he wanted to make sure his compound is okay. And me, I was claiming million mechota, blah, blah, blah. I just want, it's mine. Jua imechoma. Even Jua belongs to God, you know. Now that is the essence of stewardship. That I can step back and say, okay, if I knew then, I could have told him, my father, that's okay. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. Of course, at that time, I didn't feel very nice. But it's a lesson that up to now, when I talk about stewardship, I remember the water belongs to the Lord.
Belongs to God.
You know, so when it comes to stewardship, then we must understand that, of course, I own nothing. And because I own nothing, that tells me at the back of my mind, the honor is coming. You know? But once you behave as if the honor is not coming, that's how your character is something else. But when you give me something, say, hold this. Okay, it's not mine. I'm not going to use it until the owner comes and gives me the next instruction. I know a pastor who was the lead pastor was going out of the country, and that time there was only one car. So he told him, go park this car. Okay? And he went, I think it was for 6 months or something. He parked the car and continued using, if you're calling them tuk-tuk, whatever, public transport. The senior pastor came back and he was wondering, you didn't use this car? I said, I couldn't. You didn't tell me to use it.
You told me to park it.
Yeah, you told me to go to park it. And I parked it. It has been there for those 6 months.
Wow.
Now that is a steward.
That is a steward.
Some of us,
you will drive.
Jehovah, keep him there for too long. How do you know he will favor me this way? You know, by the time he comes, the tire is worn out. Yeah. The brakes are worn out.
Yeah.
You know those things.
Or even it's crashed.
Even it's crashed.
Yeah.
He is called, hey, are you the owner of this car? Da, 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 da. But as steward, I give you something, you give me something. The way you gave it to me, if you say, park for me, I park. Even if I'm hungry, I park the 100 shillings until one day you will tell me, do this and this. If you don't tell me the next instruction, I keep it safe for you. A steward, faithfulness. And so every leader, you see now that marries character and stewardship.
Yes.
That who I am in the dark is, when somebody entrusts to me something, I secure it. And I follow their direction. And as a steward, if they say use this for X, Y, Z, I use it. Yeah. And I'm able to give them a report because they are coming back for the report.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I'm in awe of that pastor. Not in a way of idolizing him, but just the bit of he listened to the instruction and he did not make any assumption. And it tells us, even if it could have been a test.
Yes.
But he chose to do the right thing. And you also alluded to it earlier. Do what you say you will do. So even as we come to the tail end of this podcast, this is just a tip in the iceberg, because we have 9 modules
To go. Yeah.
and we have a lot to build. This morning I was reading Nehemiah
Yeah.
and how he had to work with a rubble, but in 52 days
Yes.
he finished a war.
Yes.
So it means we can start somewhere.
We can start somewhere, build it piece by piece, thought after thought. So they should make sure that they spread the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are here to stay. Hey, all right.
To do what he has just said, visit our website www.asleadinstitute.org. And as you can see, our tutors have walked the journey and they are ready to help you build it piece by piece. Any last word before we pull down the curtain?
I think it's for us to make sure that if you have gone through Aslead, become an ambassador. Getting that certificate and hanging it on the wall doesn't help the institution. The vision of the institution is to change the world, and you're part of that world. And so if you become a roadblock, then you're not helping the vision and the visionary of Aslead Institute. Go and change the world, become the ambassador, open more schools, and let us spread the word to the 4 corners of the earth. God bless.
God bless you. We are raising servant leaders, one heart at a time. Thank you.